resistance is futile. Like, these changes are happening. You're destined to do what your soul came here to do. You can either resist and fight against it, or you can simply just be open and listen to the nudges. And while it is scary and while it is uncomfortable to change in any kind of change or growth, it's a lot less painful to go with it and to listen than to try to fight it and stay where you are.
Just create and see what happens. Don't label it as work. Don't label it as your career. Don't say you have to make this much amount of money or whatever. Just keep aligning with money, with abundance, and just keep creating like from your heart. Hello, High Vibin It homies. Welcome back to another amazing, epic, magical, healing episode of your favorite podcast, High Vibin It. As always, we are here to help you live your best life, align with your highest timeline, get rid of any unnecessary suffering, love yourself the most, manifest all the goods. So if you're into that, make sure you're subscribed to the show. We're really excited to talk about this topic because it feels so relevant. There's so much big change going on for people right now. There's so much planetary change going on in the astrology. Like, literally every planet is moving into a new sign this year and the next following years, or whatever it is. I'm not an astrologer, but I do keep up on the YouTubes, and I'm like, damn, the last time all the planets moved at one time was like basically never, not in this lifetime. So I know everyone's feeling it. Like, everyone I know is going through some major, massive initiation, transformation, big change, a period of unknown, having to let go, having to step into a new, higher version of themselves, and it can feel crazy. So we're here to talk about that today. If you're new to the show, welcome. If you're back, hi, welcome. My name is Kelsey Aida. I'm a bestselling author, and I help you to do your manifesting magic and your self-lovery. And Lynnsey, my bestie here, introduce yourself, please.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lynnsey Robinson, certified hypnotherapist, intuitive guide, and to be added more titles. I'm trying to figure that out, which is part of what this episode is, right? Yeah. I know I'm in a liminal space. Kelsey's in a liminal space. Everybody around us seems like they're in this like waiting room of growth and change, and we're very excited to dive into it. So let's go. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So, oh my gosh, where do we even start? Do you want to tell your story first? Do you want me to tell my story? Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell mine.
Tell us what's going on, and we can all feel normalized and just connected with you in the craziness and suffering.
Crazy.
Not suffering, but, growing pains.
Well, and this actually, yes, exactly. This actually inspired, just my journey inspired the theme of my membership newsletter and all the content that I curate for it to be centered around this growing pains, how to embrace the shift, embrace the change.
Okay, wait, pause. This is funny. So Lynnsey and I were talking about how we were both going through this the other day. And I was like, oh my gosh, we have to do a podcast episode on this. And she was like, yeah, I just wrote in my newsletter about it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm literally working on a Substack article about it. Yeah. We're both feeling the vibes so hard and wanting to share it. So it was just so funny how aligned we are on this.
Yeah, aligned. Okay, that's exactly aligned. Crazy, weird synchronicities happening. I don't know if y'all are feeling this. You probably are. But this, for me, all started, I'm just going to go back to the story I told you, Kels, which was early April. I was shopping for a present for a niece, and I don't have girls. She was turning 10, so we were in the girl aisle. I'm never in the girl aisle at the store. I'm just always in Legos or action figures. And I saw these My Little Ponies Rainbow Bright toys, strawberry shortcake toys, but not the new crappy ones that they've remade for kids these days. They had the vintage 80s style like designs, and I immediately shot back to being a kid. And I did have a couple My Little Ponies. They were my favorite. I watched Rainbow Bright on TV. Like, this was my jam. And I remembered not really being able to get a lot of toys as a kid. If you guys know anything about me at all, you know I was a little bit poor growing up and a little bit, dysfunctional family situation. But I looked at this My Little Pony. I was like, I'm getting one. They were $10. I'm like, I'm getting this, Abel. And he's like, okay. Like, what are you why are you? I don't know why I was like, I'm getting it. You can't tell me no. Because I'm an adult now. It was like a weird moment, but I was like, okay, I'm getting this. I'm going to have it. I'm going to play with her. I'm going to brush her hair. I'm getting a My Little Pony. And I was so happy. that day. And I knew I was kind of giving my inner child a hug. And I think that's so important for us to do anytime. But for me, it was like the perfect symbol to be able to do that. That same night, I had a little bit of a breakdown. I realized now that it was just stuff coming up where I felt so, I'm going to just, you guys are my friends and this is a safe space, but I'm just going to describe this as an inadequacy feeling as a mother. And I don't know if it's because I connected my own mother to this childhood moment I had. I really don't, but I know that it happened. And I had this moment where I was like, I am not good enough for my kids, whatever. I went through it. I got through it. I cried through it. I processed it. I asked myself the important questions, right? And I went back to where this feeling was coming from, and I practiced what I preach, which is in this moment, how do I learn more about myself and figure out what's actually happening? And I did, and I was able to process it. The next day I felt, I guess, fine. But within a few days, see, now I'm going to have to take you guys back in time. I have to time travel for a second. You guys okay with that? Kelsey, can we do that? Mm-hmm. So that happened early April. Now we're going to jump back 20 years to when I was 20 and I was just about to move to LA from Michigan, where I was living, where I grew up. I was leaving all the people that had messed with me, had broken me down, had kept me in the place willingly or unwillingly, intentionally or unintentionally, kept me small. And I was going to just bust out on my own and figure it out by myself, move across the country to LA and just live and find out who I was. Around that same time, I had this dream that I was in this, like, I don't know, Coliseum type thing. And I was looking out from like the pillars, and there were curtains flowing in between these pillars. It was so beautiful and calming and comforting. And it was like dawn. So it was like a pale blue darkness. And I felt this presence behind my left shoulder, this magnificent presence. And I didn't turn around and look, but I knew exactly what it looked like. It was like a dark blue hologram Mother Mary looking thing. But I didn't feel like it was Mother Mary, just something that looked like that. And it was right behind me. And I just felt so much peace and love and support. And I knew that I was making the right decision in what I was about to do. Okay. So that all happened. I did not know who this guide was. I didn't have a name. I just felt the presence and it was amazing. So then fast forward 10 years to when I'm 30. So 10 years ago, I had just had my son, my first son. I was working as a hypnotherapist. You guys, if you don't know that story, it's in one of our past episodes, so go back and listen. But I was seeing a channeler friend of mine who was also a hypnotherapist, and I asked her about this presence. I was like, I've had this dream in my head for 10 years, and I don't know who this person is. So can you illuminate this for me so I can connect with her on a deeper level? And this channeler said, she is a past life connection that you had. You were a follower of Isis in Egypt at the time.
The goddess, to
the
be
goddess.
clear, not the terrorist organization.
Oh my God.
Same.
I didn't even think about that, but yes, not Isis. I was a follower of the goddess, the real true Isis. Okay. And she was my high priestess mentor woman. And I was her favorite, and we had this close bond. She was like a mother figure to me, or like a grandmother. And when she passed, I was to take over for her in this whatever. And when she died, she was so advanced that she laid down and her soul just left her body. No pain, no suffering. She was just like, oh, it's time. Okay, bye. and I was set to take over for her. Well, plot twist. My co-worshiper, I don't know what you call us, my sister, my acquaintance, whatever, she killed me to take over and take my spot. I wasn't related to her, but she was the person that, what do you call that? Fellow follower, I guess. She just killed me and took over. And when this high priestess, my mentor, when she died, she became my spirit guide, my main spirit guide in all of my future lives. That person that killed me, guys, is now my mother. And I believe it. Because what better karma to have someone that murdered you in the past become someone that has to take care of you? She didn't do a very good job, but she did her best. But she was supposed to be my caretaker. She's got some lessons to learn. I think we all have people in our lives like that. Love her, that's beside the point. But so she became my mom. This mentor became my spirit guide. And so I asked the channeler, like, what do I call her? Like, what's her name? If you can find that out. And she goes, it's not really in human words, but it sounds something like Anana. And she just kept saying Anana. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like Anna, but with another na at the end. I've never heard that before. So anyway, so now fast forward to a few days ago, or a few days after this My Little Pony incident. I hope this is easy to follow. We're time traveling all over the timeline. I was watching TikTok, and this woman was talking about how the divine feminine is rising and how we're all going through this transition of less hustle and more flow, right? And goddesses like Isis and Gaia and Inanna. And I like my breath caught in my throat and my heart dropped. And I was like, that is the first time in 10 years I've heard anyone say anything close to this. Who the is Inanna? So I went on this like crusade trying to figure out who Inanna was. And I did. She's basically the original goddess, the original before God, when God was a woman. I actually bought the book When God Was a Woman, and it's amazing. I'm reading it now. But they talk about before the patriarchy kind of took over, they worshipped women. Multiple cultures. And she was like the original, like Mesopotamian, like before the Bible, before Jesus, before all of these things, she was it. She was the ruler of the heavens, and she was the ruler of sensuality and war and justice and all of these things. And I'm like, could this be the same thing? I don't know. It's an awful big coincidence. So I had a little moment where I was like, this feels really big. Like this feels too big to just for little old me. But how many times, if my best friend said that, I'd be like, are you nuts? What are you saying right now? Just chill. Of course it is. So I had a little, moment there too, where I was like, I'm still open to the possibility that it is a real thing. And I do actually believe it. Like I've put her on my altar. I've been making like intentions and prayers and like offerings. I'm a witch, leave it alone. So that's another thing I'm trying to admit now. I think I'm a witch. My husband's like, babe, you're a witch. It's fine.
I mean, was that ever in question?
I just think because there's so much connotation that comes with like witch, and I think there's so much misunderstanding about it.
Yeah.
Like we're just in flow with energy and nature. Like that's literally what a witch should be and what it is. But so that happened, and now, a couple days ago I had an Akashic reading with a dear person who's actually coming on the podcast.
Yep, Nimesh
on the podcast.
Coming on. Stay tuned for that episode.
He gave us both amazing Akashic readings, and in that, oh my gosh, you guys, confirmed so many things that I was like, is this real? Is this a coincidence? Is this a synchronicity? And y'all know I don't believe in coincidence, but your rational mind still does things, and mine was definitely doing things. And so I was questioning, and he definitely confirmed that. He brought up Isis before I did. And I was like, wait. I had a life where I followed Isis. He's like, yeah, you still do. Like she's still here. And it was interesting. But basically what he confirmed for me is that who I am at this very moment is not who I'm going to emerge as. And that freaks people out when they hear that. It definitely freaked me out. I also know that I am not the same person I was when I was 20 and moved to LA. I'm not the same person that I was when I was 30. And so in that way, it's a welcome transition. I'm very much in the cocoon, and I think that's how a lot of us are feeling. And my biggest challenge right now is embracing the unknown, because there's a lot of fear, especially right now too. And not just in my we're not just going through change personally, people. We're going through change. Humanity is going through this shift and going through the change. I truly do believe that. And it's all over the world. It's in every crevice of the world. And on a personal level, when you can focus on your own growth and your own light and growing that, I think it grows the collective light. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm in a liminal space. I'm a mucky bit of mush in a cocoon right now. It's all very crazy. I know that my main guides that I'm working with at the moment are Isis, hello, Inanna, the original OG, and Gaia. I was told Gaia as well, which makes sense for me. I want to be outside all the time. I'm definitely a nature babe, and I'm a freaking fairy, and I love being outside and planting and gardening and all that stuff. Hugging trees, naming trees is my thing. So, yeah, those make sense. But that's kind of where I'm at. So yeah, there's a little bit of growing pains right now. Hey there, it's Lynnsey. Are you ready to transform your life and achieve your biggest dreams? Well, welcome to the Align Your Mind membership. As a seasoned hypnotherapist, I've crafted a digital sanctuary where you can access powerful hypnotherapy audios anytime, anywhere. Imagine waking up each day feeling empowered, confident, connected to the universe, and ready to conquer your goals. With AYM, you'll experience deep, long-lasting transformations in every area of your life. If you're ready to rewire your mind, release what's holding you back, and start living your dreams, don't wait any longer. Just click the link in the episode description and start embodying your highest potential today.
So
Definitely.
how have you been like feeling? Have you been like freaking
Oh my
out?
God.
Because I remember when you texted me and you were like, girl, I'm bugging. And I was like, what are you bugging about? And you were just like, I'm bugging. The end. And I was like, what?
I never responded back. I complained and then I just didn't respond.
You left me on red.
I'm sorry. Well, how I've been feeling was just kind of like after my session with Nimesh, there was so much information that I had discovered from the prior days, from my inner child moment, from the connections that I'd made. And then he threw at me, oh, and by the way, you don't even know what you're capable of. You haven't even tapped into what you're capable of yet. So good luck. You know, it made me feel like I was kind of in a daze for a couple days. I really was. Like I was floating around, just looking around like, well, what do I do? Nothing means anything anymore. Why
Who am I?
try anything when I'm not going to be the same person? There was a few moments, and he basically said at the end of our session, you know, I could sugarcoat it, but I'm not going to. Who you are right now is leaving. So you can try to hold on to her and futilely try. He goes, I keep hearing resistance is futile. And I'm like, I don't know that I'm resisting. I want to figure it out. You know, we all want to figure it out. And we don't get to, and we shouldn't try. So that's for me one of the things. And physically, I've been feeling extremely tired all the time. I am so tired all the time. And I just think there are not enough naps in the world. I'm not a nap person, but every single day I'm like, if I close my eyes right now, I will be asleep. And I'm going to bed earlier. I'm sleeping longer. I'm deeper sleeping. The first couple nights after I heard this, I had such vivid dreams. And I know at least one of those nights I left my body. My soul was like, peace, I can't handle this denseness. And I woke up feeling like I had been somewhere else, which does happen to me, but it hadn't happened in a minute. And it's happening while all this is happening. And so it can't be a coincidence. And oh my gosh, I haven't even gotten to the coincidences yet. Real quick, can I talk about the coincidences?
Yes,
My
yes.
God.
Keep it coming. Keep
You
it coming.
guys. So I was, we're cool with ChatGPT, and I was asking about Isis and like, what are her symbols? Like, how do people honor her? Like, does she have a stone or a crystal or something? But I read that especially for Inanna too, lapis lazuli is really good for both of them. And I was like, oh, I don't have any of that. So I went on Etsy and I bought a couple really cool pieces of lapis lazuli, and so I put that on my altar. I wanted to get like an Isis ring or some kind of totem to wear so that I could be in my Isis power sometimes, but I'm still on the hunt. So if anybody knows of any vendors or finds a cool Isis ring, let me know. But after I got the lapis, oh God, you guys, I'm going to try to go in chronological order. Oh, this hurts. After I bought the lapis, I found this. I'm going to get it because you need to see. Hold on. If you're not on Patreon, by the way, you need to be. It's patreon.com/High Vibe. You get to see all of our faces when we talk about this crazy shit. And you get bonus episodes. You get early access to episodes, early releases, and you get to see what I'm about to show you, which is, I got this years ago from a client. She sent me this gift package of like, as a thank you, I guess, of like baked goods and candy she made and like crystals and a couple pendulums. This is one of the pendulums. What is this made out of?
Lapis?
That's lapis.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pendulum with all the stones, and it's made out of lapis. I've had this for years. Why? It's been on on the same shelf that I put my altar. It's been there the whole time. Also, on Thanksgiving, my mom came over. And again, we're recording this in May. This was a long time ago. This is back in November. She came and she gave me, and for Isis also, there's obsidian and like black black stones and moonstone. So my mom comes over and she's like, oh, I have stuff for you. She always has stuff for me, and I know it's her guilt speaking. I love you, Mom. We both know. And she's always trying to give me stuff, and I don't want stuff. Like, I just don't, just come over and like make dinner with me and hang out with me. You don't have to bring anything. But she does always, and she gave me this. I'm looking for an Isis ring, and she gives me what looks like a moonstone ring, and it's rose gold. And this.
What is it?
It's a bracelet. Oh, I'm going to describe it for everybody. It's a bracelet that has like, I know it's not real, but it looks like obsidian black jewels. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now it looks like a crown. Yeah. So this has also been sitting on I put them on my selenite because I just have to. And they've been there for months. And I was like, moonstone? It's not real, but it looks like it could be moonstone. And of course, as we know, it's all about intention, and colors are what matter. The vibe of the color matters more so than the price, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at. So I was like, how funny would it be if the one thing that reconnects me to Isis is my mom, who allegedly murdered me for taking over to worship Isis. Like, she don't know what she's doing, but her soul might. You know what I mean? Like, that's so interesting. That was like a gut punch, because I was like, I don't want to use it, but like I feel like I have to now, because it's a message.
You have to make it come full circle, you know?
You have to make it come, yeah. And of course, the work for me, I think, is rearranging how I will stop myself or close myself off to opportunities because I haven't healed fully from it. And maybe this is part of it. Maybe it is. Maybe it's weirdly poetic. I just think that the universe works in such funny ways that, of course, that would be how I reconnect through my mom, which is just, guys, you can't write this stuff. It's just too funny. I don't know if y'all think that's super weird. I was floored. And I came to a crossroads where I was like, I really feel like I don't want to use this, but I know that it's going to be the thing that I should use in a weird way. So
the symbolism is too strong.
It's too strong. How can I ignore that? It's been there for months. It's always been there until I was ready to actually see it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting.
Like
anyway,
that.
I think that's everything. It's just nuts, you guys. It's nuts over here. What's going on with you, Kels?
Oh my gosh. Well, the same. Well, first of all, I love that your story is multi-lifetime healing and growth, right? Because I think mine is the same. Because when I had my reading with Nimesh, he was telling me that I had this lifetime where I was so powerful, like so intuitive, so in my psychic gifts, like so energetically just capable and powerful, that at first I was using it for good, but then it kind of like overcame me, and it was like my demise, basically. Like, I got power hungry, and that was like the end for me.
So you were like Willow and Buffy.
I guess. I don't know who that is, but sounds like you know who that is. So basically, that was like my destiny in that lifetime, was to become like overpowered by it. And then he said, because of that, in this lifetime, I still have like buried in my body and my soul, my subconscious mind, like that memory of that happening. So I've been afraid to deeply lean into my gifts, which, if anyone has heard me speak about my psychic abilities and stuff, usually on other people's podcasts when they interview me, like, it's kind of always felt like a Pandora's box, and I'm like, oh, I don't know how much I want to open this. I don't know if I want to leave it open. I kind of want to close it. And he really explained to me, like, yeah, that's because in that lifetime, that was your destiny. But like, your guides want you to know in this lifetime, like, that is not going to happen to you. Like, you're protected. Like, you're not going to be overcome by your gifts, by your power, whatever. So to give me permission to lean more into it. And this kind of, I'll give you the backstory after I give like more of the takeaway, but really the whole reading was about like how it's time for me to claim that I'm a healer more fully, and step more into that. They didn't even call it work. They were like, don't call this work, don't call it a career, like, just do it. Like, just create. Your words carry vibration that is like medicinal and healing to people, whether they're written or spoken. So you need to like speak your truth, and you need to use your words, and you need to be creative in that way, which I do. I'm a writer. I just started a new Substack, so you guys can join me over there. I'll link to it in the show notes. Obviously working on a new book, which has been, I'll tell you that story because that was like the whole initiation that I've been going through. But basically the whole point of my guides connecting to me through the reading was just like, girl, you got to stop playing small. Don't be scared this time. Like, we know that when you feel your potential and your legacy, it feels very big and intimidating, but you wouldn't have chosen this as your life path if you weren't capable of fulfilling it. Right? So I think that's the medicine a lot of people need to hear. Like, if you feel like your future or your visions or your desires are just like daunting, like you wouldn't have chosen this path if you weren't capable of fulfilling on like these goals. Right? Yeah. So anyway, rewind. Here's the story. So for a couple of years, I've been wanting to leave my role as a hairstylist and cosmetologist to fully embrace doing this writing work, this transmission work, this channeling work, this healing work, which involves, the podcast. Now I just restarted my YouTube, so I'll link to that in the show notes. Just teaching. I just want to be a teacher and a guide and help people through my books and whatever. So for years, I've been like kind of in a golden handcuff situation with hairstyling. And I've really like mastered the craft. Like, I'm at the top of my game. I am out here charging the most. I'm out here slaying the hair. I'm out here doing the Lord's work, beautifying these people, right? But at the same time, my body is speaking to me. And it's like, girl, we are hurting. We are developing arthritis. This knot in your back is not getting any prettier. Like, you are selling your body basically to do this work. And so that's been kind of slapping me in the face over the last couple of years. And I'm like, damn, because it's been like, I've been knowing that it needs to end. Like, this is my call to step into my higher next chapter. Maybe it's not higher, but just the next, turn the page, and embrace being an author more, not full time, like working so many hours a week, but just more like full identity as like author, teacher, healer. And so when I first moved to Ohio in my like early mid-20s, I actually tried to quit hairstyling for like a year, and I was like, I have all this money saved. I'm going to sell my online course, which at the time was, what did I call it? It was called,
I think it was Manifesting
Masterclass. Yeah. And it was cool. Like, I sold a few, but I wasn't good at sales or like marketing. So it wasn't like enough to like sustain my life. So eventually I was like running out of money. I was like, dang it, I have to go back to doing hair. Like, I have to go back to the way that I know, like how to provide for myself. And this was before I knew my husband or anything. So I was like, okay, let me get back into the salon and like get back to it, which I did. And so ever since then, I've still been doing hair. And when Jeff and I, my now husband, when we moved to Charlotte, Carolina, in the Carolinas, we were like, yeah, I'm going to do hair and he's going to do whatever he does. So he was working in sales. I was doing hair. And ever since I tried to retire and couldn't do it, I felt so defeated. Like, like that's just what I wanted. I thought it would work. It didn't work. I couldn't do it. I wasn't capable, whatever, the whole story. And so ever since then, I've been like feeling like looking for my out, like, ooh, is this going to be the year? Like, every year, my New Year's resolution has been like, this is going to be my last year doing hair. This is going to be my last year doing hair. And then finally this year, I'm like, okay, if I get pregnant, I'm going to use that as my excuse to quit doing hair, because I don't want to be like a mom and then also having to labor physically at the salon and like also trying to write this best-selling book and do a million.
You think cutting hair is hard? Yeah, like doubling, tripling.
Exactly. Like, I don't need to make my life so difficult, right? So, and I understand, like, I have coworkers at the salon who like love being a mom and doing hair because that's like their escape from the home, and they get to like take a break from like being around babies all the time. And like, yeah, I get that. That's cool, but not what I'm feeling into. So anyway, long story short, I kind of have been making a plan with Jeff, like, okay, if that happens, like, I'm quitting, like, it's all on you. Like, I don't know what's happening with my healing writing business, but like, just be a provider and I'll be like, essentially like your baby mama housewife. Okay. We are married. So not just baby mama, but you know what I mean? And so I feel like it's been kind of scary to think of like not being the main provider. And I don't know, like I might be, like I might sell 3 million copies and like be the breadwinner for life. Like you never know. But it's been kind of daunting to be like, I'm going to trust a boy to take care of me and feed me and pay the mortgage. Like, what if it takes
Can I just pause you? Because this is so funny. I think we actually did an episode on this, on like the dynamics of relationships, and you
like gender roles and stuff.
You admittedly are more of the traditional view. Is like, I just want the man to do the money stuff, and I'll just stay home, and I'll make money too, but like he's gonna be the provider. Girl, you can't do it. you have the yips about it.
So anyway, like I don't know what's gonna happen with my business. Maybe I will make more money than him, maybe I won't. He makes a lot more money than me right now, so we'll see. My friend has lovingly pointed out to me like that is legitimate money manifestation, which I am the money manifester and sometimes he is the executor. So, we make a good team. I be getting all witchy, getting into energetic alignment, and he's bringing home the bacon. I'm like, okay, work smarter, not harder, right? Like that kind of feels kind of nice. But it feels foreign because it's never really been my place to like step back, receive, be in a more just, I don't want to say passive, but less provider, more creative. Like what's really calling to me is like, just create and see what happens. Don't label it as work. Don't label it as your career. Don't say you have to make this much amount of money or whatever. Just keep aligning with money, with abundance, and just keep creating like from your heart.
Did you know that this show is 100% self-produced and made possible by listener support? If you love the show and want to help us keep bringing you all the good stuff, join our Patreon. Your support helps us cover editing, software, and everything we need to keep this podcast going and growing strong.
As a Patreon member, you'll unlock amazing perks like early access to every episode, extended video content, behind-the-scenes footage, and more. And the best part, if you're one of the next 100 people to join, you'll get our exclusive manifestation toolkit valued at over $100 as soon as we hit our goal of 100 patrons. Head to patreon.com/highvibe to join, and we'll see you inside.
Hey, all my creators out there. It's 2025. Don't you think it's time to turn your expertise into income and take control of your future? Kajabi is the leading creator commerce platform to monetize your content. So whether it's courses, coaching programs, memberships, even podcasts, Kajabi gives you all the tools you need to start directly earning from your knowledge. And the best part is you can try it free for 30 days and see the possibilities for yourself. But don't wait. Go to the episode description, click the link, and start building your dream business today.
So I've written multiple books, and I've been working on this book for probably 8 years when the idea came to me. And I was in Lake Tahoe, and the title came to me, the chapter outline came to me, and it all stemmed from this blog post I was writing. And it's essentially like a manifesting troubleshooting guide, and it's like manifesting 2.0, the keys to alignment, like why things aren't working out for you. And my other books, in true Kelsey Aida fashion, the publisher found me and asked me to write them, which is pretty unheard of for someone as small, meaning like not as big of a following.
But pretty heard of as a manifesting generator who has to respond to invitations.
Right. So I responded to the invitation with a yes. That's when I wrote Affirmations for Happiness. Then after I wrote that book, they were like, oh, will you also write My Pocket Guide to Manifestation? So I said, sure. And then when I was writing that book, they were like, also at the same time that you're writing this book for us, will you write Letters to the Universe? And I said, sure. So that was 3 books just born out of that connection. But then this book, I had to go more the traditional publishing route where I had to secure an agent, which I've never worked with a literary agent, which was not super hard, but not super easy because I didn't know how to do it. In order to secure the agent, I had to write a book proposal, which I had never done, which is like a 62-page document. Mine ended up being 62 pages where you basically pitch to them the book concept, what's going to be in it, why you should be the one to write it, how you're going to market it, how you're going to sell it, which took me months to figure out how to do it, to edit it, to make it good. Mm-hmm. Then I finally got an agent after a couple of no's, not too many, but a couple. And then after I got the agent, then you have to basically pitch your idea with your proposal to publishing houses. And then that's a whole nother slew of rejection and feedback and blah, blah, blah. So finally... we got a book deal, and it was such a long road just to get the book deal. And I thought I was going to be so, so happy over the moon when I got this book deal. I was like, this is everything I've ever wanted. Like, the book is going to be born. Like, it's a real deal. Because every rejection I got made me question what I was doing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, the dream is dead. But then, like, someone would be like, oh, maybe we're going to make an offer on it. And then I'd be like, the dream is alive. Like, you know, so I was so wishy-washy back and forth about it. Like, up and down roller coaster. Then I get the book deal. And instead of feeling like the relief and the excitement that I thought I was going to feel, I immediately felt pressure, like so much pressure, because I was like, damn, this is like, I've always wanted to be this best-selling author. When I first started writing books, I always wanted to be the next Deepak Chopra, write lots of best-selling books. And I was just like, it's actually happening now. And that means I'm probably going to be seen. And like, what if this book actually does sell a lot of copies? And what if I do become the Marie Kondo of manifesting, which is what I've been wanting? And then people use my name as a verb and they Kelsey Aida their life and it's amazing. And I'm just like very intimidated by the whole thing, right? Which is hilarious because it's like you want it so bad and then you finally get it and you like shrink up in fear. Like, so that's been my journey, and that set me on the low key, like just spiral of like facing my destiny kind of in a way. And so now at this period in my life, I'm just like, okay, well, I guess like I'm going to be seen. Like I just got to lean into it and just go for it and like see what happens. And like I've been being pulled away from doing hair. So like I have to follow that nudge too and see where that leads, because I already know what happens when you don't listen to the nudges, okay?
Yeah.
When you disobey your spirit team, they be giving you a whooping. They be out here like acting like you have free will, which like you kind of do, but you kind of also like have to act in accordance with your destiny and what your soul already planned out for your life. Because when you don't, then you get off the path and then they be smacking you with life circumstances that are not fun. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to listen. I'm going to do it.
Well, and this brings up two good points that I want to point out, which is it's so funny that you and I are I was told, by the way, by the Akashic Reader that Kelsey and I are very yin yang. So we're equal. We're very equal and opposite types of energy, which I think is why we get along so well and why it works as a team. But it's funny that you have a situation where you know the destiny that you're going for. You're seeing the trajectory going in that direction, and that's the growing pains that you're experiencing. Whereas in my seat, I don't know what my destination looks like, and my challenge is in the growing pains is to follow what makes me happy. Everything's going to be business as usual. I'm not changing anything overnight, but when something nudges me, my job is to listen right now. And I think that's really good advice, no matter where you are in your journey, whether you know what your destination is like Kelsey does, and you're just like, ooh, what is it? How do it's scarier than I thought. Or you really you're free falling, which is how it feels right now, is I'm free falling and I'm like, is the net gonna come? I know it is, because it always has, but like, what does it look like and when and all this thing? Then all you really have to do when the outside looks crazy is go inward, obviously, and just follow the nudges. You don't have to change overnight. You don't have to freak out and do crazy stuff right away. You don't have to know, and you don't have to figure it out. What you do have to do is listen inside, listen inwardly. Crap, I forgot the other thing I was going to say.
No, that's so good. And honestly, we're kind of on a similar journey because we're stepping into a new chapter, which I feel like so many people I know are doing this in a big way, whether they're ready or not, whether they feel ready or not. Yeah. It's like almost like a ready or not chapter, like ready or not, like you're a new person, like you're stepping into a new life, like change is inevitable. Go ahead.
Which is the other, I brought up two important points and only remembered one of them, classic Lynnsey, but the other one was resistance is futile. Like these changes are happening. You're destined to do what your soul came here to do. Now you can either fight against it and stay with the norm and stay small and stay uncomfortably comfortable in the situation you're in now. And of course, this doesn't apply to everybody, but you know that who I'm talking to. If you're hearing this and you're like, oh, she's talking to me? Yes, I'm talking to you. You can either resist and fight against it, or you can simply just be open and listen to the nudges. And while it is scary and while it is uncomfortable to change in any kind of change or growth, it's a lot less painful to go with it and to listen than to try to fight it and stay where you are. Because who wants that anyway? It sounds good on paper maybe, but like where you're going, invariably, if you listen to your soul and your nudges, where you're going is so much better. I don't even know you, and I can promise you that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole energetic theme, right? Reading into the energy of the
Yeah.
now. It's like, even though you can't see it, or maybe even if you can see parts of it, like how I can see parts and glimpses, but I still don't know really how it's all going to come together. It's like that place where you're going, even though you will have to mourn the old versions of yourself and kind of like kill your darlings in a sense, and like not kill them off, but they are going to be like shed like old skin and you're going to be like reborn. It's better. It's for you to step into your power, to step into your destiny, to step into your highest timeline. So yes, it's scary because it's unknown, but also it's exciting. So it's like just nursing yourself through those growing pains, hugging yourself energetically all the time when you're scared, and just embracing the in-between and the not knowing is such a huge theme right now. So know that you're definitely not alone in those vibes, in this period, in this chapter. Like, we're literally all going through it. Like, all of my clients, us, like, everybody is doing this on some level in some area of their life, I feel like.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's normal. You're not going to die. It's going to be okay. It's going to be great. It's just going to be a little bit of a roller coaster.
It is going to be a little bit. And I think it's the expansion always feels like that. It's contraction, expansion, contraction, expansion. That's the breath of life. And so it's going to feel like that. Before we wrap it up, I want to ask you, maybe we could do a very little roundtable because there's two of us, what that looks like for you. So like, what does it look like for you to embrace the growing pains and to, breathe through it and really embrace the expansion?
Yeah. So breath work. Actually, you answered your own question when you asked. For me, it's always movement to like move the anxious energy through and out of my body. So movement, for me, that's going to the gym, that's going to yoga, stretching on the floor when I'm watching TV, just like working energy through my body. Also, like just getting these downloads and like not overthinking them and not resisting them. Like, example, this was just yesterday or today or in the last couple days. Because I've been thinking like, oh, I'm birthing this book and like I want to have a baby, but like I don't want to have a book and a baby like right at the same time, because promoting a book is like a lot of work. You have to do a lot of podcast interviews. You have to show up. You have to be like, probably sleeping a certain amount every night so you can make sense in these interviews. And so I'm like, well, I don't want to have a newborn baby and like be promoting this book at the same time. So like I got to try and time it out.
How good of symbolism would that be though?
And then I'm like trying to like control freak my life as one does. And I'm like, oh, this is so exhausting. Like, I don't have control over when I'm going to get pregnant. Like this is just so dumb. Like, why am I trying to play God, right? So then I was just like, what if, Kelsey, what if you just didn't even plan it and you just see what happens?
Yeah.
I've never done that in my life. I've never been like, well, let me just see the timing. Let me see what happens. Like, I've taken risks, I've taken chances, but they were always planned, right? So I'm like, well, what if you just let God decide when the baby comes? And if the baby's supposed to come at the same time as the book, so be it. You'll figure it out. And if not, hopefully not, then that'll be great too. But like, you don't control every particle in the universe. So just like, let it go. And when I had that feeling, I was just like, like a nervous laugh. Like, I've never really thought that I just shouldn't try to plan it out,
Yeah.
That had never occurred to me. So I feel like in this new vibration, in this new me, I'm just operating so differently now. Already. It's already starting.
Yeah. I think that's I find myself navigating this time way different than I've navigated really any other growth situation that I've been in before. And by the way, yes, I know that I know my kids chose when to come. It's just too crazy. I know their souls were like, right now, whether you like it or not. And what's really cool is that your future baby is probably watching this right now and is like, she really thinks.
Well, I've already they've been knocking on the door for a while. Like, I already know their names.
We've talked about them before.
I already know their personalities. It's unclear in what order they're coming, but we'll see. But like I already know so much about them, and they're like, okay, mom, like we're just waiting on you. Like, what are you waiting for? Like, we're trying to come through the portal. So I'm like, okay, sorry, let me get my shit together. So it's been just basically a ride. And something else I was going to say is a big part of what's been healing for me is following the like breadcrumbs and the nudges. And something that Nimesh said in our reading was like, if it's coming from your ego, it's probably going to be loud. But if it's coming from spirit and your intuition, it's going to be more like a whisper, like soft. And it's not going to feel crazy, but it's going to be softer. So for example, when I met with the publisher originally, we had a meeting to see how it would be to work together before I got the book deal. He was saying how Substack has been a great place for other authors that he represents to, you know, promote their work and write and just stay in the flow of writing and have a really connected community. And so I was like, oh, I never heard of Substack. Let me jump on it. So I got on it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. This is so nourishing. It's not like social media where you're just like doom scrolling and comparing yourself to highlight reels. It's literally just like all these beautiful columns of people's essays and like feelings and like just beautiful articles that you can read that make you feel some kind of way. So I was like all about it. I started embracing it and I just kept like hearing about it and seeing about it after that. And then I was like, let me write some articles. And so I kind of did like a soft launch, so to speak. But that was just kind of like following the nudges, right? And then for months, like YouTube has been speaking to me like, do more long-term content, like long-form content, like get on video, like speak to people directly, like teach them about what's on your heart. And so I just revamped my YouTube and started this whole money manifesting series on there. And it's been going awesome. It's been so fun and creative. And my sister is my editor. So we've been like working together as a team, which has been super cute. And it's just like following these ideas that for me, I'm just like, well, I don't know if I'm going to get a lot of Substack subscribers. I don't know if YouTube is going to be the way where I reach the most readers. Like, I just don't know. Like, I'm just throwing it out there in the way that feels aligned for me. Right. And like, you know, not spending so much energy on TikTok and Instagram and moving my energy to those more slower paced, more long content things feels really like good to me. And I feel like I can actually make a difference in someone's life with an article or with a 20-minute YouTube or with a 45-minute podcast versus like a 15-second reel, you know, like I don't think anyone's life has ever been changed by like a reel. So I like the idea of slowing it down, putting out more long content, really reaching people in a heartfelt, the most authentic way I ever have. And that's just me following the nudges. And maybe that's how I sell 1 million copies. Maybe that's not how I sell 1 million copies. But, you know.
That's all we can do.
That's all we can do is just do our part and meet the universe halfway. And it's really interesting because I've been feeling so much pressure about the book. And there was this like lie going on in my head of like, you have to do it all yourself. Like every copy you sell is because of something you posted or you said or you promoted. And then I had to remember like, that's not how it works. If you want to make a huge fire in your backyard, you don't have to summon and create the fire. Like you're not God. You don't create every speck of the fire. You just put wood.
Wait. Every episode we tell people they are God. So which is it, Kels?
You are lowercase God. Okay, you are a fractal of the whole. You are not the capital G God. You are a part of that, right?
You are a candle on the sun. Yes.
You are the micro to the macro. So yes, you have creative powers, but your job in creating this big fire, which for me is selling millions of copies of my book, but for you is whatever it is, right? It's like your job is to lay down the wood and to light the match and to set the fire, and every couple minutes, you know, stroke it a little, get some more air going and make it bigger. But like, you're not actually making and summoning the fire. You're not growing the fire. You're just doing things to help the momentum and give it oxygen, right? So when I remembered that truth, I was like, okay, I don't have to sell every single copy myself. I literally just start the momentum and keep the momentum going. And that's like my role in this, besides writing the book. So yeah, it's been a journey. I've been feeling so much pressure. Lately, I've been feeling less pressure because I've been remembering like the truth that I have so much support on the other side and so much like so many ascended masters helping me and channeling through me and so many archangels and so many ancestors and just remembering how supported I really am and like just instead of being scared, leaning more into the excitement of like, ooh, how cool would it be to like just have this amazing Substack and be reaching people through the internet and like helping people with my book all over the world and like living in my dream home, like this very soft life where I work a couple hours a day, but not too much, and I'm just like home hanging out with my kids, and it just sounds so lovely and nourishing. So I'm just feeling into the potential of the part that feels, I guess, a little less scary, and not focusing on everything I'm going to have to do to become this new version of myself. And I think that's been healing.
Wonderful. Wonderfully said.
That was a lot. Tell us what you've been doing.
That was 8 minutes and 10 seconds. Just real quick, how have you been navigating? Which, to be honest, is kind of how everybody feels right now.
It's a lot to navigate.
It's not something you can just, And it's different every day, right? Like some days you're like, I got this. This is fine. I'm so excited. The next day you're like, what the fuck is going on? I feel like I just got off a tilt-a-whirl and I hate this and I'm going to bed for a week.
Literally.
And that's how it is. So again, that just goes back to embracing the journey and listening to the nudge. If the nudge one day tells you to write 4 emails and prep them and do all the business work, and then the next day your nudge is take a nap, a long one, and don't listen to anybody when they tell you to get out of bed, then that's what you do. I think that's the work for me. And the biggest message that I've gotten is if it feels good, do it. Don't stop doing stuff because you think you should. And of course there are things we have to do that we don't want to do, but that's not what I mean. Doing something that you think you should do because you think it will get you the result that you think you want is not the way to go. Kelsey said it perfectly. It feels good, so do it. If it doesn't feel good, maybe don't. Wait till it feels good again, if it ever does. The other thing that I laughed at that you said was you're leaning more into the excitement than the fear. And that is literally what I was going to say. Like I find myself, like I said, navigating differently because I'm more, what are they going to do? What are they going to do for me? Like, how is this going to shock me and awe me beyond my wildest dreams? And I think knowing that I am supported and knowing that the synchronicities that I've been seeing and the signs and the messages I've been getting and downloading are too strong to be afraid, right? It's like, it's too strong to like be fearful of it. So I think if you need that, dear listener, I would say connect with your guides in whatever way you want to do that, whatever way feels best to you. Sometimes it's oracle polls, which we're going to do on the Patreon. Sometimes it's just chatting out loud to them and seeing what comes up. Sometimes it's dreams, prayers, intentions, things like that. But there's always a way that feels good to you to do that. Your ancestors are here. Your guides are here. Your ascended masters are here. Your archangels are here. You have guides you haven't even met yet that are just cheering you on, waiting for you to step into your power. That's a direct message from your guides, by the way. Just kidding. And that's a good one for all of us. They're just waiting and cheering you on and supporting you from the unseen. And you can fight it, but don't. It feels better not to. And yeah, I think Kelsey and I are probably navigating pretty similarly. We have good days, we have bad days, but it's always knowing you're supported and knowing that the universe really hasn't let you down yet. Honestly, like as somebody speaking from a place of childhood poverty and dysfunction and abuse and neglect and abandonment and of course all the breakups and the pain and moving across, I've never been let down. Never. Not once have I been left high and dry by the universe. It's always come through. All I have to do is listen and allow it. I don't want to go on for another 4 minutes, but I would love to hear from you guys, and I know Kelsey and I both love hearing from you guys. If you want to comment on Instagram, if you want to send us messages, tell us how you're feeling, what you're going through. We want these conversations. Go join the Patreon, patreon.com/highvibe. By the way, we have to shout out our lovely new members before we go. Again, I went through all the benefits and the bonuses that you get. It's a really great place to be, and it supports us in our dream of just sharing with you and helping you move through whatever it is you're going through. Kelsey, do you want to tell them the cool thing that we did?
Yeah, so shout out to our new podcast editor / production manager, Aljax. You're watching this as you work on this, you know who you are. And we were able to bring him on to support us in this work because of the lovely patrons that we have in our Patreon. So this is so exciting. We've never felt so supported. And once we hit 100 people, we are giving you guys a huge present and a thank you that'll help you manifest all your dreams in the Patreon. So those couple dollars a month that you guys donate to the show so you can get bonus content, longer episodes, all that jazz, it helps us to produce more episodes, to hire on support so that we can keep doing this for you guys and just spread the high vibes far and wide. So thank you.
I have to,
exciting announcement.
It's so nice. And we want to continue to like evolve and grow with you guys. And the more support we get, the quicker we're able to do that. But I do want to take a minute and I want to read a message that we got from one of our Patreon members because it just made my day. And I know it did for you too, Kelsey. I'm not going to say her name. I don't want to call her out. But she basically thanked us for letting her be a part of the team because she just joined the Patreon. And she says, you guys have both truly inspired me to be the best version of myself. And I wouldn't have gotten this far, this fast without you guys. Laughing emoji. Thank you for all you do. I can't wait for more content. So, oh my gosh, you have no idea. If you're listening right now, you have no idea like how happy that kind of stuff makes us. That's all we want to do ever. Like it really is the objective. So if you want more of this content, you want bonus content, exclusive discounts and gifts that we give, we go live sometimes in the group, please join the Patreon and support the show because we want to bring you more stuff and we are listener supported exclusively.
Yeah. So. And we're bringing you all the goods and our other offerings. Like Lynnsey's membership is amazing. It has every hypnosis under the sun for like every goal you could possibly think of. And it's super financially accessible and so like value packed. I feel like for what you sign up for, you're getting so much.
Thanks, Kels. I have monthly themes that I curate content and make like little packages for you guys based on the theme of that month. As I said, this month's theme is growing pains and embracing the change. So if you're interested in learning how to do that more and getting tools and resources to do that, including hypnotherapy, you can join my membership. It's on my website, just Align Your Mind membership, and you can find that also on my Instagram. Kelsey has so many books. They're amazing. I read her books. I have them right there on my shelf. They're awesome. They're so high vibe and they make you feel so good. And they're really easy to take action on. She's really, really great way of explaining things and explaining it to people in a way that they can understand. And she's an underestimated writer. She underestimates herself. And no, actually you don't. You know you're a badass. But buy her books because they're amazing. You should know you're a badass because you really are. I love your books. They teach you the ins and outs of manifesting, what you could be doing wrong, how you can do it better, and be in line with the universe, which is all we ever really want to do.
Thanks, friend. Yeah, and I wanted to give one last plug to the Substack. If you guys want to read some like weekly articles, I'm actually so excited about this because a while ago when I was on a
blog, what is it?
It's kind of like a blog. Yeah, it's basically a blog, like a newsletter that's hosted on Substack versus like my own website, which I will be posting some of the articles to my own website, the ones that do well on Substack, but it's like basically a newsletter. So you go on Substack, you can follow people that you like, you can subscribe to their newsletters, and then you just get stuff straight to your inbox. Like you don't have to be scrolling on the app. You don't have to be like seeing all these different posts. Like it's literally mostly a blogging article platform.
Is it like all written?
It's mostly written. It's mostly articles. And I was going to say that when I was going on a walk a couple months ago, I had this idea like how cool would it be if every blog post I wrote was also like a little voice memo so people could hear me reading it to them. So I would just like be in your earbud, kind of like this, but more intimate, more short because it's just a couple minutes of an article. And on Substack, I saw people doing that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do that on my Substack. So every article is like a mini podcast where I'll just be speaking directly to you and reading the article to you. So even if you're not a big reader, if you're more audio inclined, that will be an option on the Substack. And it's cool because you can subscribe to people's newsletters for free, get some stuff that way. You can subscribe for a couple dollars a month to support them, and then you get like all the stuff. So that's kind of how I set mine up. So I'll link to that in the show notes if you guys want more. I'm calling mine Aligned and Abundant. So if you want to be aligned and abundant, join me over there. And yeah, YouTube, totally free. Go check out the Money Manifesting series. I think you guys will really like it. So subscribe. It's just Kelsey Aida. And that's how we can help you guys today. So thanks for being on the pod. Thanks for just being courageous enough to be living at this crazy time, honestly. It's a wild time.
Some days I'm like, what was my soul thinking? And then the other days I'm like, yeah, I did this on purpose for sure. This lifetime? Are you kidding me? DNA analysis happened the year I was born. The Titanic was discovered the year I was born at the bottom of the ocean. Like, rediscovered, I should say. Like, crazy crap happened in my 40 years on this planet. And I know a lot of you, not just the current events, but like if you go back far enough in your own lives, you'd be like, oh my God, that was when this happened? What? I was alive for this? Like, it's been a whole dozen lifetimes in one lifetime. And we're not done yet. We still got a lot more to do, and I'm excited for it, this next part, as I hope you guys are. Come join us on the Patreon. We're going to pull some cards, and we're going to party over there. Please, please, please ride the waves with grace and ease and as much compassion for yourself as you possibly can. Reach out to us. We're here for you. And
yes, we're sending you so much love, so much light, so much compassion during these uncertain, crazy, in-between, growing pain times. So we love you. With that, we will see you in the next episode, and we'll see you over on the Patreon.